Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs and cross watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for the week ahead whenever you are finding this. First card out for you is Yang, divine masculine energy. Aquarius, you are definitely getting into your own divine masculine energy this week. And what does this mean? This means being really productive. This means having a really good routine for yourself. I'm even seeing like going out and sitting in front of the sunlight. Sun medicine is divine masculine energy. Okay, so it's like really taking good care of yourself. And I'm seeing a lot of like either going out, putting yourself out there in the world, or just overall being productive, organizing a schedule for yourself, planning ahead any, routine maintenance or upgrades or projects that you may be doing. I am seeing that, and really, taking initiative when it comes to your life. Also, one thing that we don't talk about very frequently with divine masculine energy, with yang energy, is actually taking care of oneself and being independent, cultivating that independence, going after what you want and not waiting for permission, not, waiting for other people to initiate it. It really, that divine masculine energy is sort of a go-getter energy of like just going out and doing it and not waiting for happiness to find you, not waiting for opportunities to strike. So a lot of you may be planning a lot this week, planning trips, planning travel, planning fun get-togethers, planning future projects, things like that are very strong. I am sort of picking up on an extremely organized, almost managerial type of energy. So I feel like you're stepping into your CEO energy where it's like you're just cleaning the house and you're organizing your calendar. Some of you guys are planning ahead like the entire year. I don't know. It feels like almost like someone's doing Adderall and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get so organized in this house and I am going to plan out the next like 50 weekends and just ensure that I have a nice, well-balanced life by doing this, that, the third, blah, blah, blah. So it's actually pretty cool. I like this energy. It's very, very high energy week for you. We have the journey coming out for you. Beautiful. Yeah, randomly, I'm in the middle of filming these week ahead readings and it's like there was a shift that took place and I'm like, why are so many people focusing on making travel plans this week? Like literally planning out a trip for the future. I am seeing that. I'm also seeing some sort of spiritual journey inward, and some of you may be connecting more spiritually. I am seeing taking more time to do some sort of spiritual practice. Like if you do yoga, for example, you may be putting that into your schedule, into your routine more often, at least like twice a week, or meditating more frequently, like making it a routine, this spiritual upkeep, this spiritual cleaning, making it routine, just like how you should clean your house at the bare minimum once a week, you should also clean your spiritual house, your body, mind, and soul, bare minimum once a week as well. So I am seeing that. Okay, we are going to get 6 cards, 2 rows of 3 from the manga tarot this week. First card out is the King of Cups in reverse, Aquarius. Really fascinating. Really fascinating. I don't know why the kings have been coming out so much for this week, for the past couple of weeks. This may talk of someone who is some of you may be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You don't have to be though. You could also be one of those signs if, you're reading for your big 3 or big 4. I feel like either you or someone in your life, it's like they are spiritual, they are open, they are creative and connected, and you may be wanting more time or energy or attention from them, but they're really busy in their life, and it feels like they're busy with their career or their business, and that is like their top priority right now. And it's not to say that they don't love you or they don't like you. In fact, I feel intuitively that whoever this person is, they do love you, they do like you, and they do have feelings for you, It's just that they may not be putting you first right now. Like, they're in a place in their life where their priorities are sort of finishing out this one big issue or cycle or project, something like that. is taking their attention first and foremost. For some people, this could even be a child. Like they may have a child and who comes first, you know? And so their first priority when they're booking up their weekend is to spend time with that child, for example. You know, they may not necessarily be as open to spending time with you, you know? But it's not to say they don't like you. That's the thing. It's like their priorities are a little bit different. And you totally understand it. I feel like you empathize with it. It's just like a sort of, you know, waiting or longing, or you know, it's just an energy there. I don't know. Moving on, we have the Two of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of you are wanting to plan ahead for the future, but a part of you, like your psychic senses, are like, okay, well, is this person going to be a part of that future or not? I'm getting that question come up in my mind. You know, maybe for some of you, it's like you literally just met someone who you just started dating, but then this opportunity to like move comes up and you're like, well, I just met this person and it's going well, but I'm not like so close to them yet where they're such a huge priority, but at the other time, like, I'm moving. This doesn't even have to be someone new. This could be someone who you've known for many years, you know, you've been with for many years. And, you know, maybe they're working a certain job and they want to stay at that particular job for the next few years. Maybe that job is paying for their school. Maybe they're, you know, learning something new there. And it's like, okay, well, I can stay here and be content for the next few years staying with this person, or I can, you know, go off and do some other sort of adventure. You know, I'm getting a sort of questioning of the future. Where are things going? And it involves someone else as well. Like, will this person be a part of my future or will they not be a part of my future in such a big way? And it's not necessarily like you're planning on cutting this person off, whoever it may be. It's just more so like, how big of a part will this person play in my future? I'm not sure. So I'm getting that sort of question there. We have the Fool coming out in reverse. Yeah, look before you leap. I feel like you're just really interested in the future, Aquarius, like really looking into the future, daydreaming about it, like, oh, well, what if this happens? What if this outcome takes place? Really interesting. Second row of cards out, we have Temperance. Wow. Yeah, strong emotions being stirred up within you, beautiful emotions being stirred up within you. But I like the Temperance card in upright because it shows that, yes, you have these strong feelings coming through, feelings of love, feelings of happiness, and also, you know, concerns and wonder, curiosity, but it's not consuming you, you know, whereas it may have consumed you in the past. This is not consuming you. I feel like you're continuing to just try to focus on your own life, making your money, cleaning your house, scheduling your time, you know. It's not all consuming, which is fascinating. Ooh, we have the Devil. Oh my gosh. So this came out for, I believe, Taurus. And I was saying to them, I'm going to say to you as well, out of all of the cards in all of the tarot decks that I have, this one is like the dirtiest. So I feel weird showing it on camera, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if you get easily offended by like sexual stuff, then look away, avert your eyes. But that's what it looks like. I love it. Super hot. Anyways, this is coming out, Aquarius. You know, are you repeating a similar cycle to that which you've experienced in the past? You know, some of you maybe, it feels like you're very consciously trying to avoid getting into an emotional cycle that you had in the past. You know, maybe in the past you had relationships that were all consuming, or like you easily got frustrated when your partner, your friends, people around you wouldn't live up to your expectations or work with you in the way that you needed them to. And you see yourself sort of like ever so slightly, like 2% dipping back into that mindset, dipping back into that energy. And you're like, no, like I gotta pull back and focus on me. You know, whenever you find yourself sort of slipping back into those old ways of codependency, is what I'm seeing here, or addiction. For some of you, it could be flat out addiction to something, which, by the way, codependency in relationships is an addiction to love, to the dopamine highs of love and relationships. It's like whenever you feel yourself sort of falling back into those old ways, you know, you're like, okay, I gotta focus on myself for a moment, okay? So For example, you see yourself getting all caught up in someone, and being emotionally triggered by them the closer you get to them. And it's like, okay, I'm starting to slip back into my old codependent ways here. Let me focus on myself, my schedule, my routine. And that may be your spiritual practice that we talked about, like your yoga practice or meditating, journaling. This could also be just focusing on work. And, some of you may be thinking, well, okay, I'm just distracting myself from that feeling then. Yeah, you are. You're retraining your brain not to go down that slippery slope again, So yeah, a little bit of healthy distraction is good, but definitely unpack this feeling. So, as to avoid that, keep focusing on you. And then while that's happening, maybe you want to journal or talk about it. Like, okay, well, today I felt myself slipping back into those old ways and blah, 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 blah. Here's what I have to say about it. Here's what I feel about it. So you're not avoiding that feeling and distracting yourself from it. It's like, okay, I'm about to go down the wrong path again. So let me reposition myself, focus back on my routine where I feel grounded, okay, where I feel safe, where I know it's healthy, It's like you've built a healthy foundation for yourself in your routine is what I'm feeling. So it's like when you find yourself getting overly obsessed with someone or something, or, wanting to go back into those old ways, it's like, okay, let me take a break for a second. Here's a list of things that I can do to reposition me. And those things may be very practical. Like, let me go sit outside in the sunlight for 15 minutes. Let me do a 30-minute meditation. Let me just focus on, the things on my to-do list for a second. Let me clean my house. It's like there's a set list of things that you can do that are healthy, that are good for you, and it's a part of a healthy foundation for your existence. And it's like whenever you feel yourself getting these overwhelming emotions, and those emotions are starting to get out of control and lead you back down a path of addiction or a path of codependency that you're trying to break out of, you have this list that you can go to and just sort of distract yourself from going down that path for a second. And then, okay, I've successfully not gone down that path. Let me write about it now. Let me unpack this. What triggered me to almost want to go down that path again? Let me sit with this feeling. Let me process this feeling. Really sit with it. I highly recommend journaling or talking to someone if you can about it. Someone who's a good listener, who essentially a therapist or a journal. All right, final card out. We have the Empress in reverse. Yeah, right. But underneath the Fool in reverse. Yeah, I feel like in the past, you may have overgiven to a lot of people. You may have, it was like people who were here for you, they respected you, they liked you, but they had their own life going for them as well, And I feel like in the past, perhaps you didn't necessarily have I don't know if that's mean to say, like you didn't have your own life. It was just like you may have been overly invested in relationships and other people and their business. And, you may have put yourself last in that scenario, which sort of manifested for you as attracting people who didn't make you top priority, who did put you second or last, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, if you're dealing with someone right now and you can't be their top priority, that does not make them evil. You're trying to break out of that black and white way of thinking. Maybe they're really focusing on a degree they're trying to get. Maybe they have children they're trying to raise. There are certainly going to be people where it's like you're not the top priority in their life. That doesn't make them evil. That doesn't mean they're treating you bad. That's just the way it is, When I meet people, I'm sorry, but my business comes first. Like for right now, yeah, that's my top priority. And it doesn't mean I don't like people, it doesn't mean I don't want to see them, but it's like if someone can't respect that fact, and they keep clinging on and chasing, first off, it devalues themselves. And I feel like this is you in the past, and I feel you because I was in this place myself as well. So I feel like that's the cycle that you're breaking out of, sort of no longer wanting to feel like a fool when you're putting someone first priority, first place in your life, and they're putting you second or third. And when you link up with people like this and you have a strong emotional reaction to them, that emotional reaction is trying to teach you something about your own life and your own way of relating to people. Okay, so you're putting this person first, they're putting you second. Could it be that perhaps they're showing you that you need to put yourself first, and that nobody should be in that first place position for you right now, because you may have some sort of either trauma that needs to be unpacked, or really big issue in your life that makes you unhappy. And maybe you're using relationships and you're using people as a distraction from that happiness. And because it's sort of distracting you and numbing out the thing that makes you unhappy, it can become very addictive. You know, like I remember when I had no money, I was living in poverty and I was working on it, but I also noticed I became so addicted to like just relationships and making all-consuming connections, you know what I mean? Because it was a distraction from the issue in my everyday life. I couldn't consciously recognize this at the time, but I'm seeing a similar story for you where it's like you're starting to become consciously aware of this pattern within yourself, and it's like, you know what, this is a reminder. If someone else is too busy for me, like I have to be too busy for them as well. Like I need to focus on making myself happy. What am I lacking right now that makes me so unhappy, that makes me in this temperamental state, this emotionally volatile state, you know? And by really analyzing that and focusing on yourself and pouring energy into whatever that may be, you're just going to be so much better off for it. So beautiful week ahead, a lot of realizations when it comes to yourself and your relationships, breaking out of addiction, breaking out of negative cycles. I really love this, Aquarius, okay? Thank you so much for joining me here. Have a lot of compassion for the people around you, even if they aren't making you first place in your life. That doesn't make them an evil person, you know, remind yourself of that, okay? Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.